a teenager addicted to their mobile phone. Research has shown that 25% of teenagers are constantly on their phones, as well as 24% of 13 to 17-year-olds admitting they're constantly checking their phones, including when they're at school. Phones have always been a large issue within the Embrook School, and a teacher has dealt with this widely, has been the head of terror, Mrs. McKenna. After questioning her, we gained the following information.
I can understand the parents wanting their children to have one for safety reasons, but I think phones are often a distraction in school. I would even go as far as to support them being banned from sight. I think a lot of teenagers are under pressure to have the latest phone, but do not think they are essential to being accepted. I do not think social media is needed as such on phones, but do think it has its uses. I think, however, that too many teenagers take social media too far and that cyberbullying is becoming more of an issue. I think I probably go on my phone quite a lot compared to some adults, but probably nowhere near as much as some teenagers. On the other hand, I know that there are teenagers who don't go on their phone at all and find it really refreshing.
We also gained the following information after interviewing Mr. McSweeney.
What do you think about teenagers bringing phones into school?
Personally, there are two sides to that. Number one, I really like the fact that everybody is walking around with a little computer in their pockets. I think that's useful, and I think if we could be imaginative, we could find lots of ways of using those in schools. Also, the downside, I'm really aware that we have not lots of incidents, but often, if there's trouble in school, mobile phones are not helping.
What's your opinion on social media being on phones? Do you think it's needed?
Again, that goes back to my kind of earlier answer. It's not necessarily, you're not going to get rid of it. The world as it is now, with the technology that's available, you can't take that away, you can't put that back into a box. So we're not going to get rid of it. It's necessary, it's not always helpful, but then there have been occasions again when a student is not where they should be, and a mobile phone in their pocket has been able to get hold of friends and get them to call a friend. And so, it's got uses. It's not necessarily the technology that's wrong, it's what we do or we don't do with it that's the problem.
How often do you use your phone in comparison to a teenager?
That's quite tricky for me to know. I suspect the answer is less, but I use it a lot. So it's always here in my pocket, and I can see that I've had 5 emails since I last looked at it. So, and all my appointments go on here. There's something on here for me to remember to do when I get home. So, I use my phone as my organiser, and I would really struggle to work effectively without it.
After interviewing 2 students, one female student said that she's definitely not addicted to her mobile phone and could live without it. The response was similar from a male student, and he said that his phone is a nice addition to his life. However, again, he could live without it. This shows that not every teenager needs to be on their phone permanently, and that they don't need to feel they need to be on their phones. Thank you for watching, and I've been Katie Jane.